Hey everybody, I'm back again with another update video for Project S. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I am a self-taught indie game developer who currently has 2 games published on Steam. The current game I am working on is a story-driven ARPG codenamed Project S. The idea and initial development for Project S began over 2 years ago when I first started using Unreal Engine. As the story evolved and my experience grew, I ultimately scrapped the first version of the project in order to make the game better. I know it's been a while since I've posted a video, and specifically a devlog for my game. In this video, I want to cover the current state of the game, what I plan to work on next, and any future videos I'm currently working on. So let's talk about the level design. Since Project S is a linear style game, the world is made up of levels. What you're looking at now would be considered a level, and currently I've designed 6 levels for the game. 2 of those levels would be considered dungeons, meaning you enter an area, fight a bunch of enemies and a boss, then return to the previous level you were on. I've been focusing on making the environment as immersive as possible. By building a linear style world, it has allowed me to know which path the player will follow, so I can build around that path for the best experience possible. Let's move on to the story. Project S is about a boy who gets lost in a forgotten world. In this world, there are no humans, only spirits who are either good or evil. The boy is introduced to a spirit guide in the form of a fox. This fox assists the boy throughout the game with the goal of helping him to get back to his own world. Throughout the game, the boy must learn to trust his spirit guide in hopes to return home. From combat to navigating the levels, the spirit guide will play a key role in assisting the player. One of my favorite story arcs in video games is when the main character goes to a different world or time. 2 of my all-time favorite games that I draw inspiration from are Chrono Trigger and Final Fantasy X. I really like these types of stories because you experience the world for the first time through the character's eyes. Things like the rules of the world or the history of the world are much easier to comprehend when you're learning them alongside the main character. Now for an update on the combat. The main reason I haven't made an update video in a while is centered around the combat, or lack thereof. In my previous video, I talked about hiring a contractor to build the combat system. Well, what you're seeing is all that was delivered. A very short demo of some very basic combat. The more I worked with this contractor, the more unreliable he became. He started missing deadlines, was poor at communicating, and I haven't heard from him in almost 2 months. He continued to assure me that he was working on the game, but I haven't seen anything more outside of this demo, which he sent me many months ago. So I'm moving on and trying to find a different solution. I have a meeting in a week with a developer from Fiverr, and I'm hopeful that he can build the combat system that I envision. I initially wanted the combat done before anything else was built for the game, but I don't want to delay the game any further. I'm going to work on what I can do for the game while I search for a solution for the combat. So, what's next for Project S? As I mentioned previously, there are currently 6 levels in the game. I plan to build at least 2 more levels for the first phase of the game. I'm considering releasing this game as an early access game on Steam, and these 8 levels would be featured in that version. I'm not entirely sure how many more levels will come after that, but the early access version will likely be anywhere from 40 to 60% of the completed game. There's still a lot of work to do outside of building the game world. I've got a good amount of NPCs and enemies I've placed into the game, but I still need to build functionality around them. I plan on building a dialogue system in order to interact with the NPCs. My experience building Henry's Day will definitely come in handy, as the dialogue system in that game was incredibly complex. As far as other videos I'm working on, I know a lot of you have really enjoyed my series where I'm redesigning Chrono Trigger using Unreal Engine, and I plan to continue that series. I've redesigned Chrono's house from the game, but I feel like that level alone really isn't worth releasing a video for because it's so small. So I am in the process of remaking the entire Truce Village from 1000 AD. This has been the most challenging level I've attempted yet, as there are lots of structures on this map and not a ton of detail around them. I'm going to have to use some creative freedom here to get this map looking good as a 3D environment. I also have some other ideas for Unreal Engine tutorial videos. One of those ideas is a quick tips video where I would talk about 5 to 10 tips that you may or may not know for Unreal Engine. But I also want to hear from you. What are you interested in? So let me know in the comments if you want to see more redesign videos, tutorial videos, or something else. All right, well, that wraps up this devlog. I look forward to continue working on Project S and releasing more information about the game and its story in the coming weeks. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe for more Unreal Engine and indie developer content. Thanks again, everyone, and I'll catch you later.